Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another video for the mini albums for all the books that I read in 2018. If you watched my last video, I was like, oh, I didn't make my May card, my May TBR. So when I started June, before I did June, I decided that I was going to do my May TBR right away. And then, because I know myself, if I don't complete a project when I'm working on it, if I set it aside for any amount of time, it's not going to get done. So whenever I work on a specific project, I always make sure that when I start it, I have time to complete it, because otherwise it is not going to get done. So at this point, I have everything done till the end of July. And as soon as August is done, I'll have to make sure to make my August mini album for that month, and the same with September and October and November, because otherwise it won't get done. Same thing when I do my December daily. I usually am done by January 1st, January 2nd. I make sure that I complete my project and it's completely done. Otherwise, I won't get back to it. But anyway, so in May, I had an ambitious TBR. I think I had like 17 on there. The thing with that is I did start some in April that I finished in May. Then I did start some in May that I finished in June, and I ended up finishing 12 in May. So that's why it's kind of an odd number, and because I have 17 written down and I only actually read 12 books, but that's what happened there. And that was probably one, actually I have a few months that I read 12 books, so I've had quite a good year up to now. So I'm just going to finish this May TBR and then we'll get started on June. As you can tell, I have that little journal, and that's how I keep everything straight. So now in June, it was the month that I read the least. I read 6 books in June, and they were all great books. One of them was over 500 pages, and the other one was close to 2 of them were close to 400, and then some were like 300. So it was still a good month. Just not as many books as I normally do. I guess I only read 5 books in June. Yeah, only 5 books in June. And that's fine. I was also reading Heir of Fire, which is a massive book. It's like 600 or 700 pages. It's the 3rd book in the Sarah J. Maas series, the Throne of Glass series. So I was reading that in June, and I just finished it in July, but I was also reading that, which was a pretty big book, and so is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So when you have some big books, sometimes it's hard to get a lot of them fit in. But so I had 6 on my TBR, and I read 5 of them, about halfway through Heir of Fire. Now let's talk Oblivion. That is, I think it's like the 6th book in the series, and that's probably the only one that I read it, because once I start a book I like to finish it, but it's the only one that I was like, it kind of wasn't necessary. It was the exact same thing as the first book in the series, but it was from Damon's point of view. And so you were reading the same story, but just in his head instead of in her head, which, I gave it a 3. It wasn't, it was okay. I mean, I liked the story because, I read the whole entire series, but it wasn't my favorite. Now, again, I'm going through this as an assembly line. I'm getting all my little books ready, and then I'm going to go get my Project Life cards, and then I'm going to choose all the Project Life cards. I just found since I started doing that, like kind of an assembly line, I get all my little books ready with the numbers on it, and I'm running out of those Heidi Swap letters, so I did find a round stamp in my stash where I can do the numbers. And then once I get those done, then I choose my Project Life cards. I kind of look at the picture of the book and try to match it up with that. And another thing I'm doing is I have quite a few of those Project Life kits, like the bigger kits, and every time I'm starting a new month, I'm choosing a different kit. And that way I'm getting to use a little bit of, a little bit of variety in my album. And not just that, I'm getting to use some different Project Life cards that is in my stash. Then once I have all my cards, I start and I glue down the picture to the card where I want it to be the base, and then I put down the number for the book. And what I mean by that is I want to see, the order that I actually read the books in this year. So on the picture I have, book 58, book 59, so on and so forth. So the second book I read that month is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Obviously, 5 stars. I'm enjoying all the Harry Potter books. I just need to catch up on the movies. What my intention was this year was to read a Harry Potter book and then watch the movie. But I'm not watching as much TV as I normally did, so I haven't stayed up or kept up with watching the Harry Potter movies. So I got to start that again, maybe next week, start watching them again. Now the next book is Roomies by Christina Lauren, and I absolutely love that book. This is a duo authors, and this book is about New York, and I had just come home from New York that month. I came home like on June 3rd or something like that, and I started reading the book, and it's about Broadway, and it was so interesting to hear them talk about the different things for a Broadway play, and about the play itself. And it was so fun to read that after just coming back from New York. I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 5-star. Now, the next book is First and Then by Emma Mills. This was actually my second book by Emma Mills, and her books are more character-driven, more than plot-driven, meaning that this is a young adult contemporary, I should start by saying, and it's really based on the characters. They don't have like a big adventure or anything like that. This is sort of a love story about 2 young adults and that are sort of on different side of the track kind of thing. And really liked it. I gave it a 4 stars. I'm really enjoying all of Emma Mills' books. This is my second one, and I did buy a third one from her. Now the next one is called The Loose End List, and this is by Carrie Firestone. This was such a good book. This was again a young adult contemporary, and it's about a girl and that her grandmother tells them that she is terminal and that she's going to pass away. And what she wants from them is that they're all going to take a cruise together. And what's special about that cruise is that everybody on the ship, they're either themselves are terminal or they're there because their loved one is terminal. So, and they get to choose how they're going to pass away. And it was so good. That was another 5-star read. I loved it. It made me laugh. It made me cry. Such a good book. So I'll be looking for any other book that maybe this author has written. And at first I had said that I was going to put June and July together, but then when I looked at the size of the videos, I decided to just make 2 separate ones. And another thing, I don't know if you've noticed, but not only do I do the books in one stage and then choosing the pattern papers and then gluing the photos, I also then take each card and do the decorating, and then I take each card and do the journaling for each book. And I'm finding that dividing all the tasks like that, it kind of makes the process so much faster. I'm really enjoying this little project that I started in the month of August, and I can't wait to share with you the rest of the videos and all the books that I've read up to now. And I just want to let you know I just released my Scrapathon 2, where every day for the month of September it's going to be a new challenge, a new prompt, 30 videos for the entire month. So the information is down below. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and maybe leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.